Oh, honey, let me tell you something that'll chill your bones and break your heart all at once. The day my husband locked me in that tiny bathroom, with the door handle cold under my desperate fingers and the sound of his footsteps fading down the hall, I thought that was the end of me. But when he came back hours later, expecting a broken woman ready to bend to his will, everything changed. Not because of some fairy tale rescue or a bolt of lightning from above. No, it changed because deep down, in the quiet terror of that locked room, I found a fire I didn't know I had. My name is Eleanor, Ellie to my friends, Mama to my babies, and this is the story of how I clawed my way out of a marriage that was slowly suffocating me. Grab a cup of tea, settle in, because this one's gonna tug at every string in your heart. I grew up in a little speck of a town called Millwood, down in southern Alabama, where the air smells like pine trees and fresh-baked cornbread on Sundays. My folks were simple people. Daddy worked the mill, Mama kept the home fires burning, and they loved each other fierce, the kind of love that weathers storms without a single crack. They passed down to me this old Victorian house on the edge of town, the one with the wraparound porch and the creaky swing where I'd dream away my girlhood afternoons. It wasn't fancy, mind you. Just 3 bedrooms, a kitchen big enough for family suppers, and a yard that bloomed wild with azaleas come spring. But it was mine, deeded in my name the day I turned 21, a gift from parents who wanted their only girl to have roots that ran deep. That's where I met Tom Hargrove, back in my nursing days at the local hospital. He was 32 to my 25, a contractor with calloused hands and a smile that could light up the gloomiest ER shift. He came in one rainy afternoon, nursing a busted thumb from a hammer slip, and as I wrapped it up, he cracked jokes about how he'd rather lose a finger than miss a chance to take me to dinner. I laughed. Lord, did I laugh, because in Millwood, eligible men were scarcer than hen's teeth, and Tom was all charm and confidence. We married 6 months later in the backyard of that very house, with Mama's hydrangeas blooming like they were cheering us on. Our wedding was small, just family and a few friends, but it felt like the whole world was ours. The early years were golden, or at least that's how I look back on them now, through the haze of what came after. We had Lily first, our little miracle with her daddy's blue eyes and my curly brown hair, born on a crisp October morning that painted the leaves outside the hospital window in fire. She was colicky and clingy, but Tom was there every night, rocking her when I was bone-tired from double shifts. Then came Jackson 2 years later, a rowdy boy with a laugh that could shake the rafters and a knack for fixing anything with wheels. We moved into the Victorian right after he was born. Tom said it was time to put down stakes, make it our forever home. He poured his heart into fixing it up. New roof, fresh paint, even that screened-in porch where we'd sip sweet tea on lazy evenings. Life felt full, like a quilt stitched with love and laughter. But honey, marriages have a way of fraying at the edges if you don't tend them right. Tom's construction business took off after the recession, bids pouring in from Birmingham all the way to Mobile. He was gone more, sunup to sundown, then some, and when he was home, it was like he carried the weight of every delayed permit and rising lumber costs on his shoulders. I'd try to ease it, rubbing his neck after supper, listening to his gripes about lazy crews or picky clients. "You're my rock, Ellie," he'd say, pulling me close, and I'd melt into him, believing every word. But little by little, the man I married started to change. The charm turned to command, the confidence to control. It started small. He'd question why I'd bought the off-brand coffee. "We can afford better, woman, act like it." Or snap if dinner wasn't on the table the minute he walked in. I'd bite my tongue, tell myself it was stress, that he loved us too much to mean it. By the time Lily hit her teens, the house felt less like a haven and more like a battlefield. She was 15 now, all sharp wit and dreams of college far from Alabama's dust, and Jackson was 13, buried in video games and soccer practices. I'd quit nursing part-time to be home more, picking up shifts at the community clinic instead, but Tom saw it as me wasting time when the business needed every dime. Money got tighter as his job slowed. Too many rainy seasons, not enough contracts. And resentment brewed like storm clouds on the horizon. He'd come home reeking of sawdust and bourbon, eyes hard as he tallied bills at the kitchen table. "This house is bleeding us dry," he'd mutter, glaring at the peeling wallpaper like it was my fault. I'd nod, placate, because that's what wives do, right? We smooth the edges, keep the peace for the children's sake. But oh, that house. It was more than bricks and mortar to me. It held Mama's laughter echoing from the kitchen, Daddy's ghost sitting in his old rocker on the porch, reading the paper like he was still with us. After they passed, cancer for Daddy, a quiet heart for Mama, both within a year of each other, I'd clung to it like a lifeline. Tom knew that. He'd promised on our anniversary one soft summer night, "Ellie, this place is yours, always. I'll never let a soul take it from you." I believed him then, with the fireflies dancing and his arms around my waist. But promises, like morning dew, evaporate under a hot sun. It all boiled over one humid August evening, the kind where the air sticks to your skin like regret. Tom had been cagey for weeks, dodging my questions about late nights at the site. I'd found papers in his truck, real estate listings, not for new builds, but for our home. "What's this?" I'd asked that morning over coffee, my voice steady as I could make it. He snatched them away, face flushing. "None of your damn business, Ellie, just looking ahead." But I knew. His business was sinking, overhead piling up, a bad loan from the bank, whispers from his foreman about layoffs. And there at the top of his solutions was my house, the one with my name on the deed, the one he'd sworn to protect. I waited till the kids were in bed that night, Lily scrolling TikTok in her room, Jackson snoring like a freight train. Tom slumped in his recliner, nursing a beer, the TV droning some football recap. "Tom," I said, sitting across from him, my hands folded to keep from trembling. "We need to talk about the house." His eyes narrowed, that familiar storm gathering. "What's there to talk about?" "It's ours, Ellie. We sell it, pay off the debts, start fresh. Simple as that." I shook my head, throat tight. "It's not yours to sell. The deed's in my name. Mama and Daddy left it to me, for me and the kids." He laughed, bitter and sharp. "Your name? After 20 years? Come on, woman. What's mine is yours, and vice versa. This ain't the time for your sentimental crap." We went round and round, voices rising like the cicadas outside. I pleaded. The memories, the kids' roots, how we'd lose the only place that felt like home. He barked back, his pride on the line, the business crumbling, how I'd doom us all if I didn't sign. "You think I want this? You think I like begging my wife to save my ass?" But it wasn't begging. It was demanding, his finger jabbing the air like an accusation. I stood my ground for the first time in years, heart pounding. "No, Tom, I won't sign. Find another way. Sell your tools, take a loan, anything but this." His face twisted, red as the clay dirt in our yard. "You stubborn bitch. You think you run this show? I've carried this family on my back while you play house." That's when it happened. He lunged up, grabbed my arm, hard enough to bruise, and dragged me toward the downstairs bathroom, the one off the kitchen we used for guests. "You need time to think," he growled, shoving me inside. The door slammed and I heard the click, the deadbolt, then the scrape of the hall table chair wedged under the knob. "Sit there and cool off, Ellie. When I get back from the bar, you'll see reason." His truck roared to life in the driveway, tires spitting gravel, and then silence. Just me, in that 6x8 prison of porcelain and tile, the fluorescent light buzzing like a swarm of angry bees. I pounded on the door at first, yelling his name until my voice cracked. "Tom, let me out! This ain't funny!" But the house stayed quiet. The kids asleep upstairs, oblivious. Panic clawed at me. Lily had an algebra test tomorrow. Jackson's cleats needed washing. And me? Trapped like some foolish animal in a snare of my own making. I slid down the wall, the cold tile biting through my jeans, and let the tears come. How had we gotten here? 20 years of shared beds and birthday cakes reduced to this, a locked door and a husband's rage. In that dim light, staring at the crack in the mirror from when Jackson had thrown a baseball inside years ago, I started to unravel. Not just the morning's fight, but the whole damn tapestry of our life. You ever sit in the dark? Well, not full dark, but that harsh bathroom glow that makes everything look sickly, and feel the weight of every wrong turn you've ever taken? That's where I was, knees drawn up, arms wrapped around them like they could hold me together. The air was thick with the scent of bleach from my morning clean, and every tick of my watch on the sink, vanity mocked me. 10 o'clock. 11. Tom's truck was long gone, probably parked at O'Malley's, where he'd drown his fury in cheap whiskey and bad country tunes. I'd been here before, in smaller ways. Apologies after his outbursts. Makeup sex that felt more like patching a leak than fixing the pipe. But this was a line crossed. a door literally barred, and it forced me to look square at the woman in that cracked mirror. I thought of Mama then, her voice soft as magnolia petals when she'd warned me about men who love too hard. "Ellie girl, love ain't a chain. If he starts pulling too tight, you slip free before it chokes you." She'd said it over iced tea on the porch right after Tom and I announced the wedding. I laughed it off. Tom was my knight, not my jailer. But now, with the door unyielding and my phone just out of reach on the kitchen counter, her words echoed like a judgment. How many times had I let him pull tighter? The job I quit full-time. Because family first, even though we could have used the money? The friends I drifted from because he didn't like their drama? Lily's art classes dropped when he said it was frivolous spending? Each concession a link in the chain until I was shackled without even a rattle to warn me. By midnight, the tears dried to salt on my cheeks and something shifted. Anger, hot and unfamiliar, bubbled up. Not at Tom, not yet, but at myself. For being the good wife, the quiet one, the one who always said yes to keep the peace. I stood, paced the 3 steps from sink to shower, my mind racing, the window, high and frosted, latched tight. No good. The vent? Too small. I banged the door again, softer this time, listening for any stir from upstairs. "Lily? Jack? Mama's down here, can you hear me?" Nothing. They'd sleep through a hurricane, those two. Desperation clawed deeper, but so did resolve. I wasn't staying locked till dawn. No, ma'am. I rummaged the cabinet under the sink. Bleach, sponges, that old plunger Tom swore he'd fix. Nothing sharp enough for the lock. Then I spotted it. The metal towel bar, loose at one end from years of Jackson's roughhousing. I gripped it, twisted with all my might, veins straining until it gave with a squeak. Heart hammering, I wedged the bar into the door jamb, leveraging like Tom had taught me once on a jammed shed door. Push, twist, pray. Sweat beaded my forehead, but I kept at it, whispering encouragements like I would to a laboring patient. "Come on, Ellie, you delivered twins in a power outage. You can do this." Crack. The wood splintered just enough. One more heave and the chair toppled outside with a thud. Freedom. I burst into the hall, gulping air like I'd been underwater. The house was still, moonlight slanting through the windows like silver knives. First things first, phone. I snatched it from the counter, fingers flying to 911 before common sense kicked in. No, cops meant questions, explanations to the kids in the morning. Instead, I dialed Mama's sister, Aunt Ruth, up in Birmingham. She answered groggy, but her voice sharpened quick. "Ellie, honey, it's midnight. What's wrong?" I spilled it all, voice breaking on the locked door. The fight, Tom's rage. She listened. No judgment, just that steady that meant she was already planning. "Stay put. I'll drive down. And Ellie, pack a bag. This ain't ending tonight." While I waited, 30 agonizing minutes, I crept upstairs, peeking into the kids' rooms. Lily, curled under her quilt with that sketchbook clutched like a talisman. Jack sprawled with one leg out, his soccer ball by the bed. My babies. How much had they seen, felt, without me shielding them proper? I sank onto the edge of Lily's bed, stroking her hair, tears fresh. "I'm sorry, sugar. Mama's gonna make it right." Ruth arrived like a guardian angel, her old Chevy rumbling into the drive. She hugged me fierce on the porch, her perfume, lavender and resolve, wrapping around me. "He'll be back soon enough. We talk then, or we don't. Your call." But Tom beat her to it, pulling in at 1A. Headlights sweeping the yard like searchlights. I heard the truck door slam, his boots on the steps, heavy, unsteady. Ruth and I stood in the kitchen, me with arms crossed like armor, her hand on my shoulder. He barreled in, eyes bloodshot, the whiskey sour on his breath. "What the hell? How'd you—" He stopped, spotting Ruth, his bluster faltering. "Aunt Ruth, this ain't your business." She fixed him with that schoolteacher stare. "Anytime it touches my niece, it's my business, Thomas Hargrove. You locked her in like some criminal. What kind of man does that?" He turned to me, pleading now, the bully mask slipping. "Ellie, baby, I was mad. Lost my head. The business, It's killing me. That house, it's the only way. Please, for us. His voice cracked, and for a heartbeat, I saw the Tom from our wedding day, vulnerable and real. My heart twisted. 20 years don't vanish in a night. But then I remembered the click of that lock, the helplessness. No, Tom, it's not just the house. It's everything. The way you've made me small, made our home a cage. I won't sign, and I won't live like this anymore. Ruth nodded beside me, silent support. He begged, cajoled, even dropped to his knees once. Think of the kids, Ellie. But I held firm, the fire from the bathroom still smoldering. By dawn, he'd stormed out to the guest room, slamming the door like punctuation. Ruth stayed till morning coffee, helping me pack a go bag. Clothes, documents, the kids' favorite toys. Go to my place, she said. Get your head straight, lawyer up. I nodded, numb but awake, like I'd shed a skin. When the kids woke, I told them gentle as I could. We were visiting Aunt Ruth for a few days, a little adventure. Lily eyed me sharp. Mama, did Daddy yell again? And Jack hugged my waist tight. They knew more than I wished. As we loaded the car, Tom watched from the window, face a mask of defeat and fury. I didn't look back. But honey, that was just the spark. The real blaze was coming. The drive to Birmingham was a blur of highway and heartache. Lily chattered about school drama to fill the silence. Jack dozed with his head on my lap. I gripped the wheel, mind whirling. What now? Divorce? In Millwood. That word was whispered like a curse. Good Christian women didn't walk away. But staying? That meant more locks. Literal or not, more nights tiptoeing around his temper. Aunt Ruth's bungalow was a balm. Quilts on the couch, pancakes for lunch, her stories of her own messy divorce 30 years back. He thought he owned me too till I owned my freedom. You will too, Ellie. That first night, phone silent. No calls from Tom, just a curt text. Come home. We fix this. I didn't reply. Instead, I called my old nursing buddy, Clara, who'd gone back to school for law. Ellie, girl, it's been ages. What's up? I poured it out. The fight, the lock, the house. She whistled low. That's assault, at minimum. And the deed's yours? Honey, he's got no claim. Meet me tomorrow. We'll file a protection order, start the paperwork. Protection order. The words felt foreign, scary, but necessary. Like armor for my soul. Days blurred into a week. Tom tried everything. Flowers delivered to Ruth's, voicemails thick with regret. I love you, Ellie. Don't throw us away. Even showing up once, hat in hand, pleading through the screen door while the kids hid behind me. Lily glared daggers. Jack clung silent. Seeing their fear cracked something in me. This wasn't just my fight, it was theirs. But under the pleas lurked the control, texts turning sharp. You're confusing the kids. Selfish. That's when Clara's words hit home. He's love-bombing, then guilting. Classic. Don't bite. Meanwhile, the house sat empty, a ghost in my mind. I dreamed of it. Porch swing creaking empty, Mama's voice calling me home. Selling it would have gutted me, erased the last tether to who I was before Tom reshaped me. But holding on meant fighting, and fight I would. Clara filed the order, court date set for 2 weeks out. Tom got served at his site, came raging to Ruth's again. This is bullshit, Ellie. You're ruining me. But the sheriff's deputy at the door shut that down quick. For the first time, I felt the shift, power mine to wield. Lord, those 2 weeks before court were a trial by fire, the kind that forges steel from soft iron. I'd wake at dawn in Ruth's guest room, the Alabama sun filtering through lace curtains, and lie there listening to the kids' soft breaths from the pull-out couch. Lily tossed fitful, sketching nightmares in her journal. Jack built Lego forts till his eyes drooped, asking when we'd go home. Soon, baby, I'd whisper. But home wasn't the Victorian anymore. It was wherever we chased the fear from our hearts. Tom's texts kept coming, a barrage. Apologies laced with blame, promises of change wrapped in ultimatums. I'll go to counseling. Just drop this nonsense. Or worse, the bank's calling. Your fault if we lose everything. Each one a hook in my gut, pulling me back to the woman who'd always yielded. But I didn't. Clara became my lifeline, her office a sanctuary of legal pads and fierce coffee. We pored over finances. Tom's business book's a mess of hidden debts, gambling slips from the track tucked in his desk drawer. He's been bleeding it dry, Ellie, not just bad luck. My stomach turned. I'd balanced our checkbook faithful, scrimped on groceries so he could chase bids. Betrayal stung deeper than the lock. And the house? Appraised high. Daddy's foresight in buying the land cheap decades back. You could buy out his share of the marital assets easy, Clara said. Keep it for you and the kids. Keep it. The words bloomed hope, tentative as a crocus in frost. Ruth rallied the troops, church ladies from Millwood sending care packages of casseroles and cards. Praying for you, sister. Strength in the storm. Mama's Bible group, the ones who'd buried her with hymns still on their lips, called with verses on courage. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? It mended something ragged in me, reminded me I wasn't alone. Even Lily opened up one rainy afternoon, rain pattering the tin roof like tears. Mama, he scares me sometimes. The yelling? I held her, rocking like she was 5 again. I know, sugar. I'm scared too. But we're gonna be okay. Stronger, even. Jack, quieter, drew me a picture. Our family as superheroes, capes flapping, villains, faceless, but we knew, fleeing. Kids see truth clear. It's us adults who muddle it. Tom's charm offensive peaked midweek. He cornered me at the clinic, knew my schedule, the bastard, waiting in the parking lot with a bouquet of my favorite lilies, the ones from our first date. Ellie, please. 5 minutes. Against better judgment, I nodded. Clara's number on speed dial. We sat in his truck, the cab thick with his cologne and my wariness. I messed up, he started, eyes downcast. The stress? It's no excuse, but I swear I'll change. Therapy, whatever. The house. Sell it if you must, but don't leave me. His hand reached for mine, familiar calluses, and for a split second, I wavered. The good times flashed. Hospital births we'd cheered, soccer goals he'd coached, anniversaries toasted with cheap champagne. But then the lock, the bruises fading on my arm, the kids flinch at loud voices. I pulled away. It's not just the house, Tom, it's you. The way you've made me doubt myself, made our love a ledger of debts. I can't go back! He shattered then, not with rage, but raw hurt, tears tracking his stubbled cheeks. I did it for us, to provide. You think I like failing? And there it was, the core, his shame, projected onto me. I softened just enough. Then fight fair, Tom, for real change, not words. He nodded, fervent, but as I walked away, his eyes held that old glint, possession, not partnership. I blocked his number that night, hands shaking but lighter for it. Court day dawned gray, thunder rumbling like God's own disapproval. The Millwood courthouse, with its marble steps worn smooth by generations, felt like Judgment Hall. Clara prepped me crisp, protection order first, then temporary custody, asset freeze on the house. Tom arrived solo, tie crooked, looking every year of his 45. Our eyes met across the lobby, no spark, just strangers with history. The judge, a stern widow named Harlan, who'd known my folks, listened grave as I recounted the night. The argument, the shove, the lock. Tom's lawyer spun it. Marital spat, alcohol-fueled, no real harm. But when I lifted my sleeve, showing the bruise photo Clara had snapped, the room hushed. Lily and Jack waited outside with Ruth, but their statements, written, tear-stained, spoke volumes. Daddy yells scary. We want to stay with Mama, Tom testified, broken, admitting the lock but blaming heat of the moment. I'd never hurt her, Your Honor. She's my world. Lies wrapped in truth, but Judge Harlan saw through. Mr. Hargrove, love doesn't lock doors. It opens them. Order granted. No contact. Kids with me. House off limits till divorce proceedings. Tom slumped as we adjourned, whispering, This ain't over, Ellie. But it felt like a door cracking open, light spilling in. That victory was short-lived. 2 days later, disaster struck. I came home from a shift, Ruth's now our base, to find Lily hysterical, Jack pale. Mama, the house. It's gone. What? A quick call to the neighbor, fire. The Victorian, my anchor, engulfed in flames by dawn. Arson suspected, rags and accelerant by the back door. Tom's truck spotted nearby on a grainy cam from the corner store. My world tilted. Not accident, retaliation. Clara raged. He's unhinged. We pressed charges, but proof was thin. Tom denied hot alibi from bar buddies. Still, the loss gutted me. Mama's porch swing, Daddy's rocker, ashes. I sobbed on Ruth's couch, kids clinging, the fire's roar echoing in my ears. In the rubble, though, came the twist. Sifting through insurance papers, Clara found discrepancies. Tom had upped the policy 6 months back, beneficiary himself. And buried in his business files, subpoenaed quick, emails to a consultant about discreet solutions to debts. Arson for insurance? My husband plotting to burn my heritage for a payout? The fire that destroyed my home ignited the truth. He wasn't just controlling. He was criminal. We go nuclear, Clara said. Fraud charges, divorce accelerated. I nodded, fire in my veins now matching the one that scarred my land. With the truth laid bare like scorched earth, the months that followed were a whirlwind of hearings and healing, each step a reclaiming of the life I'd half-lived. Charges stuck, arson, fraud, and Tom faced cuffs in a raid that made the Millwood Gazette's front page. Local contractor accused in blaze that nearly killed family legacy. Seeing his mugshot, hollow-eyed and defeated, should have brought triumph. But it just ached, a dirge for the man I'd loved, twisted beyond recognition. Lily clipped the article, pinning it to her bulletin board like a talisman, for when I doubt my strength, like yours, Mama. Jack, processing quieter, took to soccer with fury, scoring goals like vengeance. We attended his games together, cheering from the bleachers, our little trio, a fortress. Divorce finalized in December, snow dusting the courthouse steps like unexpected grace. Assets split fair. Tom's business liquidated, his share meager after debts. The insurance on the house. Paid to me, minus his schemes unraveled. Enough to rebuild, not grand, but sturdy, a modest rancher on the same lot with a porch swing in Mama's honor. Groundbreaking came spring, Lily and Jack wielding tiny shovels, Ruth toasting with lemonade. To new roots, deeper than before. Tom got 5 years, minimum, his letters from county lockup pleading forgiveness. I read one, burned the rest. Let him reflect, Clara advised. You've got forward to chase. Life bloomed slow, but sure. I returned to nursing full-time, the ER's chaos a welcome distraction from my own. Colleagues rallied, potlucks, girls' nights, reminding me of the woman who'd laughed easy once. Lily thrived. Her art accepted to a summer program in Atlanta. Jack made varsity soccer, his coach a gentle echo of the father he'd needed. We kept the Victorian salvaged bits. Daddy's Bible on the mantle, Mama's quilt draped over the couch. Therapy wove through it all. Group for survivors, one-on-one for me. You didn't cause his darkness, Ellie, the counselor said, her voice kind. You lit your own way out. I learned boundaries. Not as walls, but gardens. Fencing what nourishes. Weeding the rest. One evening, 6 months post-fire, I sat on the new porch, fireflies winking like old friends. Lily sketched beside me, Jack tossing a ball against the steps. Mama, she said soft, you think we'll be okay? Like, really? I pulled her close, Jack tumbling in for a hug. Better than okay, babies. We're us, unbreakable. And in that moment, with the swing creaking gentle and stars pricking the sky, I felt it. Peace, earned raw. Tom's shadow lingered, holidays without him, explanations to kin, but it faded like smoke from a dying blaze. Looking back, honey, that locked bathroom wasn't my end. It was my genesis. It taught me what too many of us learn late. Love bows to no tyrant, and self-worth ain't negotiable. We women, we carry homes in our hearts, build empires from whispers. Don't wait for a door to slam, kick it open yourself. Cherish your roots, guard your fire, and remember, the strongest stories are the ones we rewrite. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this.